The court is now in session. Today, we hear the case of Entropy, accused of causing chaos and disorder.
Your Honor, entropy is no small matter. It's been accused of spreading disorder, driving the universe toward heat death and erasing the arrow of time. To begin, I call our first witness, Sadi Carnot, French engineer and the father of thermodynamics.
Your Honor, I present the idea of a perfect engine, one that could turn heat into useful work with no waste at all. Here's how it works. Gas inside absorbs heat from a hot source, expands, and pushes the piston. We remove the source, but the gas keeps expanding as it cools. And then we attach a cold source. The hotter gas compresses, pulling the piston back down. Step by step, the cycle repeats, turning heat into mechanical work. And because each step can run in reverse, I call this the Carnot cycle. 100% efficient, fully reversible process.
But that, Your Honor, is only a dream. In reality, energy leaks away, heat escapes, parts vibrate. Nothing stays perfectly reversible. And the first person to ask how much energy gets spread out was the German physicist Rudolf Clausius, who gave that spreading a name, entropy. And because of entropy, Carnot's perfect engine is impossible. Your Honor, I'd like to call Mr. Clausius himself to the stand.
Proceed.
I studied the flow of heat and saw two truths. First, the energy remains constant. It cannot be created or destroyed. But second, with every process, some of it becomes unavailable for work. And I called this unusable portion entropy. And I found that in any isolated system, entropy never decreases. It only increases until it reaches a maximum. But if it still decreases, then it's not an isolated system. And that became the second law of thermodynamics.
Exactly, Your Honor. That means the universe itself is doomed. One day, all energy will be spread so thin, nothing will move, nothing will change. The so-called heat death. Without change, even time itself will lose direction. Just like how we cannot tell whether the recording of a glass of still standing water is reversed or not.
Not so fast. Your Honor, I'd like to call another witness, Mr. Ludwig Boltzmann, who asked why entropy tends to increase and found the answer in the microscopic world.
Your Honor, I worked in the field of statistical mechanics, and what I found was this. On a tiny scale, nothing forces disorder. It's just overwhelmingly more likely. Take two gas tanks, for example, one full, one nearly empty. Open the valves and molecules fly in both directions randomly. But since the full tank has far more molecules, most flow into the empty one. That's why gases always spread out, not because something pushes them, but because the chance overwhelmingly favors it.
Exactly. Inside an engine, energy is concentrated. Outside, it's scattered. Sure, a tiny bit of energy can wander in, but overwhelmingly more leaks out. This doesn't make entropy guilty. It just shows that nature plays by probability, and the odds always favor the spread. That's why Carnot's perfect engine isn't just unlikely, it's impossible. But entropy's story doesn't end with engines. I'd like to call one last witness, Mr. Claude Shannon, who introduced the concept of entropy to information theory.
Interesting. Go on.
Your Honor, I borrowed entropy from physics and applied it to information theory. In this context, entropy measures uncertainty in a message. For example, the message containing 6 A's has low entropy. It's predictable and easy to compress. But a random message has high entropy, unpredictable and impossible to compress. By measuring entropy, we discovered the limits of data compression, storage, and encryption, the very foundation of the digital world.
You see, entropy doesn't cause disorder. It measures it. Whether in engines, in gases, or in data, entropy tells us what's possible, what's likely, and what's efficient. Your Honor, entropy isn't a criminal. It's a witness to the rules of nature.
After hearing the charges and weighing the evidence, the court doesn't find Entropy as guilty of causing disorder. The court session is over now.
Well, that's what I thought.